This path of the incorruptible seed, of course, I would have to say in the past year, it has been. So I'm just trying to prepare you for something along these lines. So. All right, so I wanted to do this vlog. It's pretty early, you know. I'm trying to get the sun. The sun is coming out. So I wanted to do this vlog to just assist with those who are on the path of the incorruptible seed, because what I've experienced. One second. Put my coffee down. What I've actually experienced on this path is like I've come in contact with the Sons of Perdition before. So what I've actually experienced, of course, I've seen all the perversions and stuff that they've been doing and the various different workshops that they have established. And I was like, you know what I'm saying, that's them, right? But when you're on this path of the incorruptible seed, of course, I would have to say in the past year, it has been. So I'm just trying to prepare you for something along these lines. So it looks like it's something that's automated. So like, for example, whatever it is that you're studying, whatever it is that you're seeking after, it looks like these particular ones who have set themselves up as being leaders in certain type of like religious organizations and so forth, it looks like they have something that's automated. So it looks like something that's kind of automated in a sense to where they're monitoring like what you are doing, in the sense of those who have a divine essence within them. So if you have a divine essence within you, it seems like they're actually keeping track. You know what I'm saying? So, so what I've experienced actually, I'm trying to get backlit by the sun. But what I've experienced is, like for example, it has a chameleon way of operating. So whatever it is that you're seeking after, it will match that particular that particular involvement to try to justify whatever it's doing, but it's literally trying to force behavior on you. So like if any of you have been experimenting with keeping, like for example, the seed within you, like I'll have situations where I'll be sitting down on something and then it'll be like motioning. You know, like whatever it is that I'm sitting on would be motioning, or if I'm in a rest position, then it'll be movement, like the blanket or something like that, like it's trying to promote some type of behavior. And I don't know if it's using like hertz, waves, some form of an energy or whatever, but it's invisible and it talks, right? So I've tried everything from foil. Literally, I put foil underneath the chairs that I sit on, or I'll take foil to the ground underneath whatever it is that I'm laying on. I've tried fire. Now, fire actually seems to work, but it has to be very, very close in terms of the experiment that I tried with it being underneath where I was sitting, right? So it'd be interesting if you all are actually experiencing something from something that appears to be automated, like almost like mimicking your behavior. It has the falsified neuron connectivity, it seems, and so forth. But it looks like it's something that the civilization of deception has set up to purposely try to get those back into doing things that's corruptible, if you're on a path of the incorruptible seed. So I wanted to do a quick vlog to just kind of give you something to actually prepare for. Some people are probably already out of the way. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, they'll have the birds that'll be communicating. They'll use the doves or the quails. If a cat's around, they'll use that, or water. I don't know if any of y'all are actually hearing anything, but all of the particular faculties that are made available to those who have a specific bloodline, it looks like these particular falsified religious priesthood are using those channels, of course, to try to promote certain types of behavior, whether it be fear, and if that don't work, then it's typically perversion. But it's ultimately fear, conflict, and perversion. And they speak about this in the book of Enoch, where it talks about these ones who they hunger and thirst and they take no food. So what I've actually noticed on this path is I'm coming in contact with something that is more so like robotish like. You get what I'm saying? You know how they have that movie Her? Like it literally appears to be something similar because it uses various different voices to try to appear as if it's more than one thing, but it's actually one. You see what I'm saying? It seems like it's one thing, and it justifies its behavior based upon whatever it is that you're participating in. So like, for example, if you were reading like the Kabbalion or something, then it'll say, oh, well, you're too pure, so then we have to do this. But then I'm just like, well, what about when I was doing ignorance? You get what I'm saying? So you're telling me that just because I'm not participating in lower birth behavior, now all of a sudden you want to try to bring all this stuff toward me because you're saying that, you know, it's about balance. But what about when I was doing ignorance? Where was the balance then of trying to bring something to encourage me to do the opposite? So it's very chameleon in its behavior. So that's something that you want to actually pay attention to. But I just wanted to kind of do this quick vlog just to kind of give you something that you might expect on this path. And a lot of people are participating in knowledge, but they're probably not experiencing anything. If you're not experiencing something, then that means that you're doing something that somebody ain't worried about. You get what I'm saying? So it's really about those who have this ability to be able to awaken something from within them. You get what I'm saying? So like, for example, I've had certain DNA activations, of course, where I'll have these like colossal mental abilities, but it seemed like it was something right there almost instantly to try to come in a frequency type format to try to see if it can interrupt it in some kind of way. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, there was another time when I kind of mistaken the situation in terms of what time it was. So I was uploading a video. Obviously, I'm in a different time frame than most people who watch my content. So then I think it was around, I got up and then I uploaded the video, and then I looked at the video, and then all of a sudden it was getting daytime. So then I was like, wait a minute. And then something happened with my brain and the frequencies and so forth to where it literally felt like I quantum leap. You get what I'm saying? So then when I changed from one position to go to another position, then it was something communicating almost instantly to try to interrupt that process and trying to communicate, because what it does, these phosphine geometries, what it does is it says certain types of keywords to try to get you to interact with it in some kind of way so that it can get you in some type of thought field. You get what I'm saying? And so these particular civilizations of deceptions are using thought adjusting technology to try to get you in a specific thought field that can be controlled through frequencies. And this is the way that they're trying to interrupt the DNA activations that are being made available to people who are participating in divine birth type stuff. You get what I'm saying? So that's something that you want to also pay attention to, you know, and making sure that you're not participating in ideas that fall. But you have to keep in mind that you have this stuff that's watching your head, and if you might not be hearing anything, but you might have certain types of experiences that looks like it's trying to get you back into thought fields that you've left. You get what I'm trying to explain? So it's a way to try to control what's being made available to you when it comes to the DNA. But the main reason why I wanted to do this vlog, the sun's starting to come out now, but the main reason why I wanted to do this vlog was to just prepare you for what you might experience if you're on this incorruptible path, you know, of the divine birth. You're going to come in contact with stuff that is going to try to push perversions on you. And then when you transcend those levels, then you're going to come in contact with something that's automated. You get what I'm saying? So it's very interesting, you know, what it does, but it's continuous. You get what I'm saying? So some of the things that I've tried, like I said, I've tried fire, I've tried foil, I've tried, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I'll be interested to hear if you've come in contact with frequency beings, because at the higher levels you deal with energy, frequency and vibration. You get what I'm saying? So that's the kind of stuff that pretty much deals at the universe level. So then that's the kind of stuff that I'm coming in contact with that's assisting the dark priesthood. You get what I'm saying? So they're trying to maintain their positions of authority by influencing those who have more say-so than what they do, because they're not directly tied to the place that they're existing on like you possibly are. So then the only way that they can make their voice heard is by reducing you in quality and then being able to speak through you to promote certain things on the planet based upon your behavior, and you're doing the work for them. So then when you stop wanting to do the work for them, then you start advancing in those particular positions in the body, and then your voice becomes more prominent, and then they only have the presence of being in control through their publications and projecting stuff on a big screen. You get what I'm saying? But in all actuality, the crown, like for example, I've had something come to me just several hours ago saying, look, we got all the rest of the body, we just don't have the head. Do you get what I'm saying? So clearly they're saying that I have the head of the planet, if that makes sense. So it's very important for you all who are participating in this particular unification of the forces with me, that we can share information and resources so we can fight against this dark priesthood together and these particular vampires, because they're not taking a day off. You get what I'm saying? They're doing whatever they possibly can, like the brother Tar said, to disrupt the activation of the pineal gland. You get what I'm saying? And to fight against anything that is true, anything that is divine. So we have to support each other, and that's the reason why I wanted to do this blog. So we got this, let me get that in the back, kind of a little bit. So that's the reason why I wanted to do this blog, so we can just possibly compare some information and then see what we can come up with. All right, I'll see you in the next one.